I have spoken to countless travel families and they all tell me the same thing. They tell me that the single worst thing about traveling as a family is finding places that are not only affordable, but meet the unique needs that families require. You know what? We used to feel exactly the same way. That was until we found the cheat code that helps you find the perfect Airbnb every time. And I'm going to share those cheat codes with you starting now. Hi, I'm Jimmy from Families on the Horizon, and along with my wife and my two boys, we have been traveling full time now for several months. And during this time, we've stayed in countless Airbnbs. Now, when we started traveling, we ran into all sorts of problems with Airbnb and finding accommodation that was suitable for families, and I'm sure you're in the same boat. So, through a whole bunch of experience and trial and error, we've developed a system that can make sure that we find those diamond in the rough Airbnb properties that are perfectly suited for our family and its unique needs. And today, I'm going to run you through that system. I also wanted to make a quick mention that this doesn't just apply to Airbnb. This pretty much applies to any of the directory style booking sites like Agoda or Booking.com or many of the other ones out there. Now, you need to make sure that you stay to the very end because I'm going to share something that Paulie and I have been working on that helps you find accommodation at significantly reduced rates, but it does come with some risk. Now, quickly, before I share the methodologies that we use to find the perfect Airbnb every time, I just want to quickly talk about why I think Airbnb style accommodation is far superior to the hotels and resorts that most families choose when they go on vacations. Now, one of the big things about Airbnbs is affordability. You will find accommodation that suits your budget and not the other way around. So the thing with hotels and resorts is generally they are around other hotels and resorts. And because of that, the prices are generally fixed because the competition sets the price the same. And it doesn't matter if you go to an expensive place or a cheap place, you're generally going to be paying more for a resort or a hotel than you would say in Airbnb. The next thing with Airbnbs is flexibility. The beauty about Airbnbs and Airbnb style accommodation is that you'll find the property that suits your needs. You're not going to really have to compromise if you use our strategies for finding them too. I think another thing that people don't talk about, which is one of the major selling points for us with Airbnb, is authenticity. Now, we've had some absolutely amazing experiences staying in Airbnbs that are off the beaten track, so to speak. These are Airbnbs that are just in the suburbs, right in the sticks, right in the heart of where the locals live. And so we're trying local cuisines, we're meeting local people. It's just been an amazing experience to be in an authentic situation as opposed to a hotel or resort, which is kind of designed for tourists. And I think one of the biggest selling points of Airbnbs over hotels and resorts is kitchen access. So if you're traveling full time like we are, it can get quite expensive to just eat out every night and eat out for 3 meals a day. So having a kitchen allows you to cook some of your meals at home, allows you to make lunch at home and breakfast at home, and it also allows you to make meals that are tailored to your dietary requirements. Okay. So there is one massive problem with Airbnbs, and that is that there is over 400,000 potential family-friendly accommodation options on Airbnb alone. So the secret to finding the perfect one for your family and its unique needs is taking a chainsaw to this list and really cutting it down. And this is how we do it. Okay guys, so here we are. This is my exact list that Paul and I use to find the perfect Airbnb. Now, this is something we've developed over a long period of time. It wasn't something that just came, when we first got the first Airbnb or the second or third one. This is just a list that we developed over time. So basically what we have here is like our wish list that is very specific to our family, but yours may look similar or there may be things that are slightly different on your list. If you want a copy of this list, we're going to make it into a Canva template, and you can get that in the description of this video below. But let's go through this list quickly. So we have filterable parameters. So these are parameters that you can actually filter in Airbnb itself. And then you have the non-filterable items. So these are the parameters that you can't actually filter for on Airbnb, and we have a specific way of finding those. We have the amenities that we want that are close to us, that are specific to our family, and then we have our process. So let's do this. Let's actually find an Airbnb. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to the side so we can actually see it while we're looking. This is what I actually do in real time when I'm looking on Airbnb, and I'll make that smaller like that. Okay, so the thing is, the secret to Airbnb is that you really need a budget. And the reason you need a budget is it helps you limit, our job is to take a chainsaw to this list, right? So it helps you limit what things you see, firstly. And secondly, you think about it, an extra $1 a day or $2 a day or $5 a day doesn't sound like much when you're picking it, but when you're traveling for a year or 6 months or, a long period of time, an extra $5 a day adds up to be a lot. So we really want to make sure that we stay under our budget. So what I'm going to do here is we are going to I'm going to use Kuala Lumpur as an example just because it's the last place that we're at. So what we want to do is we want to go to Kuala Lumpur, and you guys probably know how to do this already, so feel free to skip the next couple 10, 20 seconds. And I'm just going to pick a date range, right? So I'm just going to pick August 1 to August 31st, and then we got 2 adults, 2 children. You guys all know how to do this. So you're going to go like this, and you come across this screen. Now, obviously, because we've got this shrunk, it's a little bit odd, but the first thing you're going to do is you're going to work out what your filters need to be. So for us, we work full time. We have a digital marketing agency that we work remotely in, and the kids are world schooled. So we need internet to be able to do that. So a dedicated workspace is really important, and it may just be a dining table. It may be a dedicated desk. It just depends on what we need, but a dedicated workspace, Wi-Fi, and 2 bedrooms. They're our filterable requirements. The one thing that is not good about Airbnb is that the filters are terrible. So you have like a price filter, which is fine. So we're going to set this from 0 to $50 a day for 30 days. I think I picked was $1,500, right? So we might set that to $1,600. And we want 2 bedrooms. We want house or apartment, and we want Wi-Fi and dedicated workspace and number of bedrooms. I think we picked that already. Bedrooms 2, right? So we want that, right? So we want to do that. You could also go with Superhost, but I found that sometimes having Superhost selected means that you miss out on some like gems that pop up that people are just trying to build up their review base. So you get to this point and you filtered the list down, and we have, what do we have here? Let's have a look at our map. So we have a few options, right? So we've immediately killed the list and we dropped the list down. So there's some there that are within our budget. Now, the secret to finding the perfect Airbnb every time is you need non-filterable items. So these need to be items that are on your list that are important to you as a family, but don't necessarily show up in your filterable list. So Queen Bed Plus, I'm a big dude, I'm 6'2", so I need a big bed. So Queen Bed Plus is a non-filterable item must have for us. 100 megabit plus internet is ideal, but we'll go anywhere down to 50. What we're looking for is fiber internet. So fiber internet, a big enough desk to work at, an air conditioner in every room, which is important in Asia. Your list may be different to this, but this is what we filter with. A washing machine, and that's a nice to have. It's not a desperate thing. And condo facilities, so gym, pool, things like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look for these non-filterable items. But before we do, we're going to run through the process. So I'm going to run through the amenities quickly. Supermarket within 1 kilometer. We like to have a supermarket or a grocery store close to us so we can go and get food, make lunches and breakfasts. The only meal we ever really eat out is dinner. We generally have lunch and breakfast at home. A gym, either in the condo or close by, within 1 kilometer or 2, because we will generally walk a couple of kilometers if we need to. And then boxing, Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu close. So we like to do that as a family just to keep fit and active. So we like to have that kind of thing close. If not, it needs to be accessible by a train or public transport. So this is our process. So the first thing we will do is we'll go onto Google and we'll type in like best neighborhoods of Kuala Lumpur, right? So what we're looking for is where to stay, because the worst thing you can do is stay in an area that's maybe cheap, but is dangerous. So we want to make sure that we're staying in safe areas. So you can see here in Kuala Lumpur, Mont Kiara, Damansara. We have stayed in a lot of these places, to be fair, but like, let's use Mont Kiara as an example. So what we're going to do in our map is we're going to look for Mont Kiara, which is right here. So Mont Kiara is right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and find the public transport system if the city has it. So a lot of cities don't necessarily have public transport, but if you do, it's a great way to work out where to start with looking for accommodation. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up a public transit map. We're going to go on Google Maps, sorry. And we're going to go to and we're going to look for Kuala Lumpur. So this is what we will generally do. We want to be on a train route or a bus route. So we'll come in here and we'll go to our layers and we'll look for public transport like this. So you can see all the public transport routes, train routes. And then what we want to do is find Mount Kiara, which is the one we're looking at. So like if you were looking in Mount Kiara proper, that probably wouldn't suit us because if you're traveling, you don't necessarily have a car. So we kind of want to move across and be on one of the train lines. So you can see here, there's a lot of places that have train lines, Bukit Bintang, Kumpang. So what we're going to do is try and line up our suburbs with something that's on a train line. So KLCC, Mont Kiara, Ampang, Damansara, Bangsar. So Damansara Heights. So what we'll do is we'll find Damansara.
Right, man. This way.
Damansara. So we'll have a look at where Damansara is, which is right here. Like Damansara, which is, I think something went wrong there. Yeah, you would look for Damansara, which is out this way. And we're going to look for things that are closer on train lines. So Shah Alam. Let's look at Shah Alam because I do know the area. We got this train line that runs through here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to line up our map with this. So see there's Damansara there, but we're going to look at Shah Alam. So this is Shah Alam here. And what we're going to do is find the train line that runs through. So the train line is right there, I believe. Yep, so that's the train line. And what we're going to do is look for accommodation in this area that's close to the train line. So let's have a look. So they're starting to pop up. So you can see that right now, there's not many options, right? We have this one here, which is out of our budget. So what we do then is we start to just follow the train lines out. So you can see here, the train line runs through here. So we're going to let it load, see if there's anything in Klang, not anything out in Klang. So we're going to follow this train line back. And look, there's a couple of clusters of things here. So let's have a look at a couple of these. So these are pretty much in budget. The train line is right here. So what we need to work out is whether we can get over here. We have food and this looks like a shopping complex. So we'll have to look into that, but we're going to have a look at one of these properties, right? And this is what you do to actually determine if it's suitable or not. You need to marry up your requirements with the your amenities with what it says in the photos and the description. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the description. So king size bed, that ticks off our bed, queen size bed, but air conditioner, single bed. So there's only 2 beds in this place. So this one's not really a fit, but they said they can give us a single floor mattress if we need it. So not writing this one off. This one has air conditioners in every room, free high-speed internet Wi-Fi. That's good. And yeah, do we have a desk? So some of these things won't be listed in the description, but we've ticked off 2 of the boxes already. What we want to do now is actually have a look at the photos. So we're going to go through the photos. So we have a desk here that we could all work off. So that's good. That ticks off that box. Big bed, big areas, quite a nice apartment. Let's have a look. Yep, queen bed. We can get a single mattress. They said that, so we would ask. It's like a studio apartment. Got a kitchen area here. Now, does the kitchen have facilities to cook? That's one of our requirements. Air conditioner in every room. So there's no kitchen area. So this one's not super ideal. So we're probably going to keep looking, right? The thing is, you don't want to get desperate. You really want to find the thing that suits you. So what we'll do is we'll leave this one for now because it's not suitable, doesn't have a kitchen. There's this one here though. So let's have a look at this one. So we have a dining table here. First thing we're going to do is look at our description. King size bed. So it's the same person. You can see they've written it the same way. So we don't have to look at that because it's going to be quick. What we're trying to see is the kitchen, if it has anything in it. No, so kitchen is no good. So we can't stay there. It's not suitable for what we need. So what we're going to do is going to keep looking down the train line and we're into KL Central. Let's zoom out a little bit. So here we go. So here's some stuff here. There's another train line that runs down here. As you can see, this is a train line and the stop is right there. This is really important to see where the actual stops are. So we got this place here. Funny enough, Paul and I have actually stayed here before. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at the photos and see what we've got. Okay, so the Majestic Place unit is a 3-star of gym cafe. So it's got gym and cafe. So we're going to look at that. Now, something to be aware of is that they haven't listed anything and it's excluding utility bills. So this one immediately is going to be too expensive for what we need. So we're going to have a look and see about something else here. So they're all the same person. So that's not going to be ideal. So we're going to keep looking. So we might go down this way. So these ones are a little bit too expensive, but the secret to Airbnb is that you can go to them and ask for a slight discount. They might get these ones under, especially if you're doing it for a month. I wouldn't necessarily write these ones off just yet. So they talk about family trip. That's really important, right? Family trip. They mentioned they've obviously given some thought to who's going to stay here. So peaceful condominium, ground floor feel very like landed house. That's a good point. It's close to a train station. I don't know if you've seen that on the other map. No shortage of public facilities. So the public facilities are really good. There's no real mention of internet here, which is an issue. So it's probably something we'd have to ask. They do say they have Wi-Fi, but let's have a look. So let's have a look at the photos. The first thing they show is the pool. Got a table to work off. That's what we need to have. Queen has one queen bed, has a kitchen so we can cook and water, which is really handy to have. Second bed there as well. And there's not some photos. So, but this one here, you would then, so anything that looks like it could be good that you need to ask more questions of, you go save and save it to your watch list. Make a new watch list for the place that you're in and then save it to there. And then you would ask the questions. Does it have Wi-Fi? What speed is the Wi-Fi? Does it have a washing machine? Does it, what's the access to the facility? So you go ahead and do that. We'll look at one more. Hopefully we can find something that's like perfect. I think we left our time frame a little bit late. So we're going down this way. So we got this one here. Let's have a look at here. So this is 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Okay, so MRT station, 5 minutes walking distance, accommodate extra bed. They don't really mention too much here, so let's have a look at the photos. Dining table, there's a table in the corner for working off. Desk, that's really good. Kitchen facilities. Now, what we're going to look for is the Wi-Fi. Generally, if they don't mention the Wi-Fi, you can generally see it if they've got fiber. They'll have antennas coming out or there'll be cables coming out the back. So that's something we'd have to ask how the Wi-Fi is. Big bed, beds, and then it's got facilities. So this one could be a fit. So I would be adding this one to the list. And the next thing you got to do is once you've got a couple that you think could work really well, that suit what you need, what you're going to go ahead and do, see, so we got plenty of beds, so we're no issue there. What you're going to go ahead and do is read the reviews. The reviews are so important, especially the reviews that are from families. So huge comfortable place, a quiet area, great price, clean, lots of space, good for families. So that's a tick. Fantastic host. That's something you want to look at as well. Host is friendly communicated. Cons, house needs maintenance. Tile in a clean, kitchen area not clean. Whole house, no body mirror. That's whatever. Host didn't didn't check. Deposit. Stay, nice place to stay, nice apartment. So yeah, this one looks pretty good. So what we would do then is, like I said, we have some things here. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly check to see if there's a supermarket, a gym, and a boxing Muay Thai place plus. And then if that's the case, I would actually contact this person to learn more about this property, add it to our wish list and learn more. So let's go back to our map and work out where we are. So we're in, let's go. We are in Taman Serdang Raya. Taman Serdang Raya. So what we're going to do is we're going to find it. Taman Serdang Raya. Yep. Okay. So we're going to find this place. Not hard to find them if you just got to follow the map. So like you can see here, there's got this one south here. You got the metro station right there. So we find the metro station here. Let's have a look and see. So it's before the bend and it's opposite the water. So it's before the bend and opposite the water, somewhere up here, right? Yep. So there's a thing. There's one south. So what we're going to look for is we're going to stay in this sort of immediate area. And we're going to type in, so we're going to go near the station. So we're going to go like that, and we're going to copy that, and we're going to go supermarket near Utama Station, right? And I'm going to copy that because we'll have to type that in again. So we're looking for a supermarket. So it's called Serdang Raya. So we're going to go like that, right? So we'll type that in and see what comes up. So there's heaps of supermarkets around here. You got some big ones as well. Got some small ones, but you got some big ones down here. That's an actual supermarket, so that ticks that box. Let's go gym near. So there's a gym just down on the next station. Down here, Celebrity Fitness, a Synergy Fitness. There's probably gyms up here as well, is my guess. Yeah, so we got gyms a station away, which is fine. Or that's walking distance, we do have 2 legs. And then we're going to go boxing. So Celebrity Fitness does it, boxing. So we might have to zoom out a little bit just to see where they are. Boxing gym. Boxing classes. The beauty about being on a train line, though, is you can actually go out to some of these places if you need to. But we ideally want to find one that's closed. So there's one down there. There's a Muay Thai gym over here. If we follow this blue line, because that's going to be the easiest thing for us, we'll see what comes up when we are on this blue line. If I just go to boxing classes and search this area. Yep, there we go. So here's one over here. It's a couple of stations down. And yeah, so I would definitely be looking at this place. And what you do is you spend an hour just doing this. You just look at the photos, you look at the description, you make sure it fits the amenities, and you make sure it ticks most of these boxes. Then you're basically not going to have any surprises when you book it. So this is how we go about finding the perfect Airbnb. Yes, it still takes a little while, but it's a lot less stressful than just randomly looking at photos of properties. Notice how we barely looked at the properties, because at the end of the day, all properties are kind of the same in that aspect. So we really just want to make sure that it ticks the right boxes from an amenity standpoint. If we get that, then we can kind of put up with a lot more stuff. So guys, that's how we go about it. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so that is how we find the perfect Airbnb every time. Hopefully you've gotten some value out of this video, and tell us, how do you find the perfect Airbnb for your family? Leave it in the comments so other people can see and learn from your experience, and make sure to share this video to anyone you think could find some value in it or is thinking of traveling as a family. The goal of this channel is to really show people that traveling full time or traveling as a family on extended vacations is not only possible, but also practical and really fun and really amazing to do. So whatever you do, get out there, and I'll see you over the horizon.